But from a PR, marketing, artist management perspective, do y'all think Kanye West can come out of this? Do you think he can like
Come out of what?
Okay.
Where he at?
the sunken place, in my opinion? But do you
Okay.
think that he can gain the respect that he once held within the Black community? I mean, some of the Black community.
Some, yeah.
From a marketing standpoint, I think that he is accomplishing what it is that he set out to accomplish. And that was to get out of these, I think it was like, why get into these big companies, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, we got into these big companies with the promise that we would have creative control and all of that stuff. And then you realize that that's not the case, you know, and then people are going behind your back doing different things and making deals aside from what you've already set in place. Like, I think that he is like, drop me.
Yeah.
I'm done with all of this.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think from a marketing standpoint, yes, he is going to be able to come out and do what he wants to do. And do I think that people will be like, nah, and cancel him and not buy his shoes and stuff? Of course not. People still gonna fuck with Kanye West because he's Kanye West regardless. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, people still fuck with R. Kelly. You know what I mean?
Do.
And
They do.
you know, so, but from a Black person perspective, I think he definitely is going to have to do a lot of Black
work.
people, as much as Black people love to hate on us, we are very accepting and forgiving.
Yes.
Okay, we would
We
not be
definitely are.
sitting here if we were not.
Very
Okay,
Yeah.
we are
We're
very
very
forgiving. So
forgiving.
I do not see this being something that is going to be a problem for Black people. This is going to forever be a problem for other races because it is calling out certain things. And I want to be, you know, very clear. I do not think that he has a disdain or distaste for Black people. I think that he has a issue with the way that certain things are being done to Black people and the fact that Black people are accepting it sometimes and not standing up.
Kanye West, I don't know if he's ever been broke. You know what I'm saying?
has
But he has been broke.
He wasn't rich, but he was
He
definitely,
was
I mean, he wasn't
under $1 million
but
a
he was
year.
definitely,
Right.
Nah, you didn't watch the.
That's what I was about to say.
I saw it. I saw it.
Genius.
But my
Yeah.
thing is, when you're in that position, you know, especially in entertainment, you know how you have to walk on eggshells sometimes to get to where it is. Now, if Kanye came out the gate with the anti-Semitism and all this, that, and the third, Kanye would
be
still
cutting
be back in Chicago. So Kanye knew how to walk on eggshells to get to where it is that he's at. So how can't you sympathize with other Black people who have to do what they have to do to try and get ahead too? How do you
Right.
take a crap on that? That's
Wait, what do you mean by that? You have to expand on that thought. Take a crap on people who are walking on eggshells.
well, you mentioned Kanye West not liking the way Black people, or from my perspective, I guess Kanye West has a problem with the way or how Black people don't stand up for themselves.
He's talking
or-
about shoot 'em up, bang bang rap. I heard him say, yo,
Yeah,
this is
that too,
anti-Semitic.
even though he collabed with Chief Keef, but you know, that too, you know, so it's like I understand Kanye West's frustration with the Black community because the Black community has a lot of issues, and I get that. But at the same time, if you're not putting the money and resources to fix it, how can you sit and, you know, point your finger at y'all are doing this wrong, y'all are doing that wrong, y'all are it doesn't give productive. It gives like, I'm looking at y'all the same way the right wing is looking at y'all in disgust.
I'm saying, I feel like we have to kind of put a more magnifying glass because you just said he collabed with Chief Keef. Did you listen to the two songs that he collabed on with Chief Keef? Nobody and I don't like.
Yeah.
That isn't shoot 'em up, bang bang. A fuck nigga, that's the shit I don't like. You're not talking about killing nobody. That's all like those two
But-
songs aren't like conducive to negativity in the Black community. I can't really say I've actually heard Kanye West really spew that music out. He put Jesus Walks as his second single Through the Wire. So he's honestly really walked what he's talked about. I can't really say. So, and also, we haven't been in these rooms. And also, we haven't come from how far to how high. I can't go from a second level producer to a billionaire. I would be showing my ass too.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
would be
definitely
showing
agree
my
with
ass.
that. I definitely agree with that, and I think that, especially with the Genius documentary too, I was like, dang, like I can't imagine what it would be like to go from that to actually like accomplishing, and like getting to the point where you're like, I'm a god. You know what I mean? So I definitely can't pretend to know what on earth is going on in his head when he decides to say these things. But it's still not respectable.
Yeah, because I mean, there are other artists who have came from the quote unquote trenches and who have reached the level of Kanye West.
Who?
Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Beyonce trenches? Show
Not
me
the
those
trenches.
trenches.
Oh yeah,
But
she
I said
wasn't in the
trenches in quotations, not the actual. Because Kanye didn't come from the trenches either.
Let's not
Jay-Z,
discount
I guess,
Beyonce's
did,
career.
but
She worked
Beyonce
very
did-
hard.
She did work
did.
very hard.
Yeah,
Her parents had to
She never
sacrifice
been
a
broke.
lot.
You know what I'm
She never
saying?
been broke
ASAP.
though.
Her parents had to sacrifice a lot. I heard they had to like sell their house so that they could
Yeah.
invest more in Beyonce's career. Like she had, humble beginnings,
Right.
Humble
compared
beginnings.
to where she is now. But you don't see Beyonce going off about this, that, and the third. And I'm sure she faces the same things.
She
that
doesn't have
Kanye
to.
Because
West
Her
her,
faces.
situation is
marketing
totally
is
different.
different.
Why does he have
Because
to?
her marketing is different. Beyonce doesn't have to say a thing.
But
and I
why
think
does
that
Kanye's marketing have to be that way?
because
his marketing
Kanye
is
has
him speaking his mind.
always
Yeah, he's always
been
spoken his
this
mind.
way. Like, I think that's what I'm saying. I don't know why this is so shocking to anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Because to me, Kanye West has always been this way. The first time when he was comparing himself to a God, like I am a God, like the Bible says that we are created in His image, right? But we are not gods. So at that point, I thought to myself, okay, this nigga tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't a god, but I could see how people putting you on these different pedestals would make you feel that way.
For
And
sure.
I think that for a long time he did feel that way. After Pablo, I think that he started to feel that way, right? And then I think now this is his come to moment where he's like, fuck, like I have literally felt this way. And now I'm like, no, I need everybody to feel this way. I need all my black people to feel the way that I am feeling, because I've been in these rooms with these people that are like, yeah, about us. And I know what it will take now. And maybe he's just not verbalizing it right.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
not-
never been able to verbalize anything right, to be honest.
Yeah.
So why are you surprised?
And the thing
It's
is,
not that I'm surprised. I'm just getting tested too much. Like I said from the jump, I was the Kanye fan that said there's nothing Kanye could ever say or do that would stop me from being a Kanye fan. And I'm definitely not stopping, just to be very clear. I'm still a very big Kanye fan. But just lately, like before when he was like, George Bush doesn't like black people, all this stuff, it wasn't as disparaging to the community as it is now. That is the big difference for me. It's not about being surprised. It's just that now it's just like, okay, like, can we get a break? Like, talk about something else, do something else. For me right now, I just want him to go back to Wyoming, go to his cave. I would love it for him to be quiet for a little. I could just stop listening to him too. Like, I might just take a break. If he want to do, he's a grown man, he can do whatever he want to do, talk about what he want to talk about. I might have to put him on mute for a little bit.
and
Until he stops.
And the thing is, though, even though he was at a different level then than he is now, on graduation, he spoke a lot about like coming into his own. You know what I mean? He spoke a lot about that. And I feel like he put it in the music in a way that was poetic, something that empowered people. Nowadays, it's just like mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what makes it just frustrating. So I hear both of y'all and what y'all are saying. Like, I feel like I learned a lot about the industry from Kanye coming up, even going back to like his interview with Sway and how he was talking about how he was trying to get into the fashion industry and all of that, and looking at it now and kind of understanding, even just in my experience doing startups and working with investors and understanding the politicking and all of that, I totally understand. I feel like I've learned a lot from his rants in the past. But right now, I don't know what I can learn from what the hell he's spewing right now. I don't want to learn from it. I think I just need to take a beat.
always want to learn from it. You know, this is the thing. Like I said before, like we talked about before, it's discerning. Like I have a very discerning spirit, right? So it doesn't matter what you say to me. I'm going to take what I need to take from it and I'm going to keep it moving, you know? A lot of people told me when I first moved out here, like, hey, bro, you can't just start no PR firm and just be out here just doing PR. Like, you need to go work at a label or something and follow people and, you know, and I'm like, dude, I did all that. So, you know what I mean? I didn't move to LA to be following people. I moved here to make a difference, you know, and I moved here to be an artist. So I already knew how to do what I'm doing now. When I moved here, it was just back burner. You know what I'm saying? But it took a lot for me to get to where I am now. And I don't hang out with the same people that I did before because those people don't believe in me how they should have. You know what I'm saying? And still to this day are very shocked that I've made it this far. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you, like we talked about, you have to change the people around you in order to get to where you need to go, you know? And I think that is what he's doing. And I don't want to say that he is shitting on Black people, because I feel like there is a method to his madness, you know?
I hope.
But I don't feel shitted on though. That's the thing. Like I feel.
I wouldn't say that I feel shitted on. I just
do.
feel like, for me, I think as I've gotten older, I feel like there's certain narratives that I really want us to kind of get away from, and he's not helping. That's kind of my whole thing. And just media, as we know, plays a huge
what are those narratives?
role. All the stuff he's doing with Candace Owens right now, all his extreme right-wing narratives that he's pushing. That's specifically what I'm talking about. Everything else, that's not what I'm talking about. The right-wing extreme narratives, I finally got a break from that after the 2020 protests and all that stuff. And here he is dredging it up, empowering all these over-the-top people.
Let me just set a scene for something. So the White Lives Matter, Kanye said that he was going to take that money and disperse it to people who actually needed it.
Okay.
The Black Lives Matter, the organization, they took the money and did what with it? So I feel like I feel like it's a flip, and that's what he said in the text. That's what I read.
Right.
He was saying, "All right, yo, when you use this money to do X, Y, Z, BLM didn't do this. They took the money and did this." Right. So it's like, to me, it's like,
I understand.
Okay, I kind of see that, but you need to explain that to people beforehand, or don't.
He's trolling.
Well, I just said he doesn't have to. You don't have to explain.
When I saw that White Lives Matter T-shirt, the first thing I thought was,
he's trolling.
Kanye
of course.
West is a fucking marketing genius.
That's
and I'm sorry, like, it was not. I apologize, Black people, okay, because I love us for real. Monique on the shit. No, straight up. But from a marketing standpoint, like, if you think about everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter, right, with all of those things, and then you think about the whole Blue Lives Matter situation and how everybody kept saying, when we were saying Black Lives Matter, what? White Lives Matter too. He has totally taken that, flipped it, and now sold it and taken those profits and putting it back in the Black community. And I think that that was his goal.
Because they have more money to use. It's not like we have.
Because white people gonna buy a White Lives Matter
T-shirt
for
$60.
Well,
because it says White Lives Matter on it.
Let me say this. Kanye West is a genius, and he knows how to turn something into nothing. He could have made that point a million other ways. Black Lives Matter. I don't know what the ladies did with the money. Won't buy a house. I don't know. You know,
but you should.
They did. They
but the thing is, the same
too.
energy that you give to him, you have to give it to them.
Okay,
because they had the biggest platform and they took it and ran off.
And I understand that, but at the same time,
from Black Lives.
But at the same time, at its inception, the purpose and the meaning behind Black Lives Matter was something deeper than just, a marketing ploy to make money.
Let's separate the organization from the movement also.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying, though.
Yes, they, I don't know what they did with the funds, but at its inception, it was a phrase that empowered Black people when we felt
think about this. Think about
and Kanye West pooped on it.
Think about the word you just said,
an organization.
So the baby was beautiful baby, grew up to be Jeffrey Dahmer. What are we saying from this if it didn't yield anything from the inception from the White Lives Matter t-shirts could be ugly, but if it yields something that is beautiful, then what? If that inception was beautiful and then it yielded something ugly, you want the inverse? I want the latter. I want the one that yields something nice and something that just looked good in the beginning but didn't give me anything on the back end.
But I think that phrase helped us during 2020.
I knew my life mattered. I don't need it to. I knew my life mattered. I didn't need it to.
White Lives Matter, that is literally just flipping it on its head and making it something nasty and weird, and it's mental gymnastics.
But to me, two things can be true.
But no, it's not about two things being true. I think one of the most frustrating things for me with the whole BLM, WLM conversation, Black Lives Matter is bigger than just the organization. Like, everybody always deflects from the general meaning and the purpose of Black Lives Matter and starts talking about the money from the organization. When I didn't donate to the organization personally, and when I was going out to protest and stuff like that, it had nothing to do with this organization. I didn't even know there was a full-on corporate organization behind it.
Well,
so it's not just about the organization. But what I'm saying is that when we're talking about Black Lives Matter right now, we're not talking about an organization and what they were doing with the money. We're talking about the movement that we were all participating in. And when you decide to do White Lives Matter and you're partnering with Candace Owens to put out videos about how you don't want to be a part of the culture and sparking a nasty discussion like that, taking us back a few years, that is what's frustrating. I don't care about him using the proceeds to you have money already. You can just donate to Black people. You don't have to do
by using other people's money.
You can also use other people's money without selling a White Lives. You could start an organization and raise money, throw a gala and raise money. You can do other stuff.
Like this. I think that, I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we are all, if you go right now to like a 7-Eleven or something, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know who owns 7-Eleven, but it probably ain't gonna be them behind the counter, right? Everybody is going to sell whatever it is they need to sell. And to me personally, like I said before, I think it was just a method to troll white people. Like, I don't think that he really truly is like, Black lives don't matter, white lives matter.
No,
like,
I don't think that.
I think that he, and I mean, Kim Kardashian is Armenian, right? And that's why
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that he is necessarily like, oh, he doesn't like Black people and he's trying to disparage the Black community. I don't like the conversation that he's sparking up and dredging up. I don't like the effects of it in the media. I don't like what it's doing in the culture at this very moment.
But change happens that way, though. If people had not spoken up to end enslavement, then we would not be here.
We didn't get where we got today by saying slavery was a choice and that all the antics that Kanye says.
Even that, right? I felt like discernment again. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to listen to that statement and take that statement how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard the statement, I was like, "What the hell did this nigga say?" And then I said, okay, I see where he was going with it. Not that he made sense in how he said it, but where he was trying to go.
But you know what's interesting? You mentioned earlier that your sister is in middle school or high school. She's in middle school, and they only know Kanye for his antics. Yeah. So when they hear things like that, as a small child, middle school, high school, whatever, you don't have a healthy amount of discernment. So you're hearing these things in the media without full context, because that's what Kanye does. He'll give a little bit of context, but not a lot. And it's just like, oh, okay, well, if Kanye West said it, then some of that must be true. That discernment comes at a later age. And I just feel like Kanye West, having the platform that he has, being the person that he is, he has to be more responsible with how he goes about communicating, especially things that are explosive and things that could trend.
And marketing efforts and all of this media stuff, like the media has a huge impact on the culture, on young minds, on how teens are treated in school. That is what I'm talking about. Like, it's not, again, I don't think that Kanye is out here trying to destroy us. I understand that he's a marketing genius. I understand all of that. But I definitely do not respect the things that he is putting out there right now. And as somebody, we're all Black. We grew up in school. I think we can look now that we're older and look at some of the things that maybe we were bullied for and how the media played into that and how we were seen by our peers, how we were treated by employers. All the media affects that very heavily. Yeah. So for me, yes, I am in favor of people with platforms being a little bit more responsible when it comes to that stuff, because it has a direct effect on Tyrone in 7th grade and how he's being treated and how he
they're
sees
taking
himself.
Slavery out of the textbooks for Tyrone's class.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's
Tyrone
also
didn't know
part
about
of the
slavery
problem.
until Kanye West said slavery was
that's
a choice.
also part of the problem. There are many problems.
A lot of moving parts. But unfortunately, we have to leave the can open on this conversation. But this was needed. I feel like Kanye West says a lot in the media. I feel like we should have the space to talk about it too. So where can people find you guys on social media?
At Nate Certified on Instagram. That's really it. Yeah.
At DJ Honeybee, HUNNY for honey.
At Elton Qualls Harris, It's my government. Elton Qualls Harris, ELTONQUALLS-HARRIS, but it on Instagram without the hyphen.
Yes, and sorry we had to wrap that so abruptly, but I mean, I feel like we could have went on and on and on.
I know.
And you guys, if you made it this far in the video, I do have a giveaway opportunity for you guys. This is Kendrick Lamar's 10-year anniversary of Good Kid, Mad City. And I'm giving it away. So if you want this, follow Culture Unfiltered Roundtable, CU Roundtable on TikTok. Follow Culture Unfiltered on TikTok. Follow Culture Unfiltered on Instagram. And in any of those channels, leave a Good Kid, Mad City emoji, a baby emoji, and a cityscape emoji. And this 10-year anniversary vinyl will be yours. Thank you guys so much for joining me here at the Culture Unfiltered Roundtable. We'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely.